All right, today everyone, we have Nejc Volarič with us all the way from Slovenia. He's going to talk about how he got started in Amazon, how he kind of basically built his entire business, and then what he's up to now. So Nejc, what first got you interested in Amazon, and how did you first hear about FBA and selling on Amazon?
I saw Will's webinar and then I decided I want to go for it.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I saw Will's podcast. No, I'm just joking. But I have to thank Will in the beginning because he was one of my mentors and he helped me a lot with his knowledge. So I guess it was the starting point of success for me when I met Will. But I started a year and a half ago. Basically, I saw a YouTube video. They were promoting an ASM course, and then I decided to go for it. And I was launching my first product for 3 months, going back and forth with the Chinese. It was a kitchen knife, and I wanted to perfect it and all of the other stuff. And I spent a few €1,000 on it. I started selling in the US after I went through the ASM course, but unfortunately, the first product didn't work for me. It was just a learning process, I guess. So that's when I started to employ some other strategies that were more sustainable, more like what Will and his brother Andrew are doing, and some of the other mentors I had also here in Slovenia. We have a successful Amazon seller that sells in Germany that is doing, I think he'll do 5 million this year.
Oh, wow.
And he also has, a number of SKUs, not just, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 products, but a lot of SKUs. So that was basically it. So 1 year ago, this was a little bit over 1 year ago, I started launching multiple products, not even from China, but from local brands in Europe, because I figured out that, buying from China, long lead times, it destroys your liquidity, because you have to pay everything up front, and you have to wait for the goods to come here, and you're not even sure if they're gonna sell. So from the cash flow and inventory turnaround point of view, it was I decided to go for the local for the local suppliers, mostly European, and a lot of them are Slovenian. And I started to sell their products, even though the margins are a little lower. It pays off because you can visit them. The logistics is not so complicated and so on.
So, are you now selling mostly Slovenian brands, or are they just other European brands, or what types of brands are you selling?
Some of them are Slovenian, and some of them are, for example, from Belgium. One is from the UK, and actually most of them are European, if I could say that, from different countries. But some of them are still from China. Some of the trending products, we buy from China and try to sell in the US or in Europe, but it's not our main focus.
And so, what's the normal way that you contact some of these companies? Do you email them first? Do you call them? How do you get in contact with them? And then, two, once you're in contact with them, how do you explain to them kind of your value proposition?
The first company that we're doing business now very successfully in Germany. By the way, our biggest market is Germany, and the second one is Italy, and then are all the rest. The first supplier or manufacturer is a Slovenian brand, and we're still doing business with them. I met them in a fair.
Oh, wow.
So I've been going through fairs here in Slovenia, and you meet all kinds of suppliers, and they're all interested in selling you stuff. Because here in Slovenia it's a little bit different situation, I guess, than in the US. Those are not like huge brands with tens of millions of revenue per year. Those are usually smaller brands with a couple of staff, and they're especially if they're getting started, like my partner my partner did. So I mean, it was very easy to get to them. But you know, we have experiences with, for example, a UK brand. It's a UK brand that is already selling on Amazon, and we saw that they're selling really well. And we contacted them, you know, because the listing was already made up. You know, the reviews were there, the sales numbers were there, and we thought we'd just, you know, try to sell their product. And we contacted them, and I mean, they were up for it. You know, they offered us a 50% discount for the first order, and you know, it was good in terms of calculation of the price and what we get from the in terms of return on investment. It was, I mean, it was okay. So it can be done, you know. If you put energy to it, you know, there's no one way. There are, you know, 10 ways at least, and I think it depends on the people, you know. Some want to do business with you, some don't, but you know, let's just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I have a couple questions about kind of the people you're dealing with. So first and foremost, do you tell them that you're an Amazon seller up front right away? And second off, when you're walking around these fairs, do you just walk around with your phone out saying, hey, this looks like it's profitable and it sells a lot, this looks like it's profitable? Or how do you kind of make quick decisions on who to talk to at the fair and who not to?
We look for consumable products, you know, because we have found out that consumable products like cosmetics and you know, some supplements too are really easy to sell, because once a customer buys it, you know, they will keep buying it. So, and when another customer comes, when that it's new, you know, they'll keep buying it, and the growth is not exponential, but the growth is substantial, right? It grows up fairly quickly. So these were the kind of product that we were focusing on. But I mean, I just give them a little talk, you know. I ask them if where they are selling, you know, what's their, you know, business model. I tell them, I do not tell them directly first right away that we're selling on Amazon. I tell them that we can promote their brand in the UK and Germany and Italy. And when I say all those countries, they thought we're, they think we're a huge player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it you know, it catches their attention. And in the second stage, of course, I tell that we're going to sell on Amazon, because I have noticed that they're even more interested, because the companies, at least here in Slovenia, know the power of e-commerce, and they're starting to notice the power of Amazon. And you know, it's probably something they've been thinking about, but because they have so much work with other projects and the business is still running, you know, they do not have the staff and the knowledge, and they're not willing to, you know, put in the energy to explore this new space. And you know, when you came to them, they see you as, you know, a legitimate partner, right? And we also tell them, you know, to give us 10 pieces for free, so we test the market. Oh, nice. And after start selling, we will start reordering from them. I mean, I have had, you know, tens of meetings, if not hundreds of meetings, but in all of those meetings, you know, only two people said no.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So you're picking the perfect companies then too. So when they do have resistance and they say no, we don't want to, what's their main drawback? What's the main thing they say to you when they're not interested?
One company that was, I mean, it was a little bit bigger. They told me that, I mean, they're not ready for it, or that the products do not sell there so well, because they're of course used to bigger numbers and bigger, you know, they want to sell 10,000 pieces, but you know, you maybe you cannot sell on Amazon those 10,000 pieces. But you know, on the other hand, you can still buy 10 products from them. You know, it's not a big cost. And I mean, we do that now because we have spare capital. We just buy them because it's easier and there's less, you know, communicating and everything. Yeah. And dealing back and forth. But in the beginning, you know, when we had no capital, we even did it like that. We went to a supplier and say, okay, we can sell your products. Look, send 50 of them to Amazon. You'll still be the owner. We'll not pay you. But at the end of the month, we'll take a look how much we sold, and then you can charge us, right?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's a different model, yeah.
No, yeah, that's really interesting. Especially too. So one of the questions I get all the time is, why would these companies sell to you? Why don't they just sell themselves? You kind of explained it with that they just don't have enough time in the day, but that can't be the only reason. Is there any other reasons you've kind of come across why they're not selling on Amazon themselves and why they need someone like you to kind of be the in between?
It's an interesting questions. Uh, I've talked with a brand owner. He's a friend of my friend, and we were sitting at a coffee, and I said, "Oh, look, Matej, okay, you can come to me, you can come to my office. I can tell you everything about it, and you start selling, right? Well, what's the problem? I mean, the Amazon is huge. I mean, they're even store your stock, you know. I mean, stock your goods. So why don't you do it?" And he said, "No, I don't want to deal with the details. I just want to sell boxes. I don't have time for details." You know, and I figured out that this is the mentality of brand owners or the mentality of manufacturers. They just want to sell boxes, you know. They don't want to deal with details and marketing and, you know, returns and customer service and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's a different mentality. That's what I found out, at least here in Slovenia.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that the brand owners and the manufacturers should focus on why they went into business and what they do best. They should manufacture the best product possible, develop the best products possible, and brand their products as good as possible. But yeah, that whole Amazon e-commerce selling, marketing directly to the customer, that's usually not in their wheelhouse. So you've been selling now for a little over a year. Do you mind me asking how much you sell a month now?
Oh, I think it's around 4,000 items or different pieces a month.
Oh, wow.
And this is 140,000 in revenue. And what the interesting thing is that we have tripled our revenue in the last 3 months.
Oh, wow.
I have not figured out why, but I think there's a, you know, combination of stuff. Our account is getting older. We have sales history, right? SKUs are getting, you know, built up. Those might be the, and they're also, I mean, I think the market in general is growing. But one of the other thing I have to share with you, we started cutting up PPCs. We had 2 or 3 months ago, I guess it was 4 months ago, we paid 2.5 euros per product sold, and now we pay €1 per product sold. So if you do the math, you know, our profitability went up, of course, because we spend less on ads, but in contrast, I think we are ranking better because of that. I don't know for sure because we do not, you know, monitor ranking. But this is my theory. I don't know if it is correct. Maybe you can give a little opinion on this. So when we were spending, we were selling with lower ACOS, so that means the conversion was better, right? And maybe because of that, Amazon ranked us higher, you know, because the conversion was better, even though we sold a little bit less. So we have a software that we have developed, and the software looks at search terms. And we say, okay, all of the search terms that have 10 clicks or more and ACOS 60% or more, put them into negative. Put them into negative exact, and I mean, just ignore them, you know? Just focus on the profitable ones.
And so
this is, yeah.
Well, and so do you think that the cost per click went from like $2.50 down to $1 because of you trimming the fat and getting rid of old keywords, or did that just happen by itself just because of the market for some reason?
No. Just because we were trimming the fat, like you said. I mean, at the beginning we put in like 100 keywords. for first 10 products. And then I found out it's a waste of time. And it was something I learned from you. How much output will you get per 1 hour of invested time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with searching for all those keywords and then managing them, I thought it was a waste of time, because on the other hand, only a handful of keywords would sell, and this would be the most obvious keywords. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it's the 80-20 rule,
Mm-hmm.
Is the 80-20 rule. I mean, if you look at it, if you think of it, in how many different ways will customers search for a sushi kit?
Yeah.
I mean, there are 5 or 6 different ways, and the rest of it is just typos and all of the other long tail keywords. But we've decided that we will ignore them. I don't think this is the absolute right way, but it was the right way for us and for our model. So we started trimming down the keywords, and the cost per click went down. And this was one thing, but on the other hand, we sold more because we had an older account with better metrics, and this is one part of the reason that our PPC per sold item went down. You cannot say for sure. These are all just, theories, but they kind of make sense.
Yep, and it's two. I always tell people that there's only 2 ways to grow your seller account and grow your revenue, and one is marketing and the other one is adding SKUs. And it sounds like you guys went more of the route of adding SKUs and trying to sign up more suppliers instead of trying to market the crap out of your products and try to spend a ton on PPC and do a ton of off Amazon marketing with Facebook ads and Instagram ads and all of that stuff. And so do you have any plan to do more marketing in the future, or do you guys just want to focus on the sourcing part and making as many connections you can in the business world?
It's the second thing. We wanna focus on the sourcing part, and add as much products as we can, because we want to develop a system to handle tens of thousands of products, and it requires a different strategy and a different mindset if you want to have 15 products. So I think either one works, but it requires a different mentality. For us, we cannot deal with a product to product. We have a system of launching, but it's all systemized. So we do this for each and every product. And if it's not successful, it's not successful. The product is just a number. We only focus on growing the SKUs and the basically 2 metrics or 3 metrics. This is return on investment. This is a margin, and PPC advertising per product sold. And we want to evolve our business around those three metrics, and to enhance them.
And then do you plan on taking any of your wholesale ideas and taking that idea over to China to private label them and kind of supplement your wholesaling while creating your own brand in the background? Or do you want to just focus on wholesaling, or are you wholesaling from China? Or what's your opinion on buying stuff from China still?
Right now, maybe in the future, I'll have this mentality, as you said it, so we can private label some of those good selling products. But right now, although I don't see it as a at least a short-term strategy for us, because there are so much brands in Europe that you can contact, you can buy from them and go onto the existing listings, that it's a better return on investment or your energy or your hour. So you get the most of it. But even if we wanted to private label some of our brands, it would be difficult to buy them from China, because they are cosmetic products. They are naturally made here in Slovenia, and it can be a little bit difficult.
So if someone wanted to learn about kind of your strategy and the different way to do it. Especially, I just got back from speaking in conferences in Bonn, Germany, London, Bucharest, Kiev. I was just on a tour through Europe, and I was explaining this process to a lot of people, and they said, yeah, you might be able to do that in the US, lots of companies, lots of brands, but we could never do that in Europe. So obviously you've kind of proven them wrong. And so where could they learn more about how to do this in Europe, or even like work with you?
Okay, let me say just one thing. You know, I have tried with ASM. I have tried listening to podcasts. I mean, they're all great. They're all great. But for the basic stuff, first you need to learn to know the basics. Through courses, maybe through blogs, through podcasts. You know, it's all perfect. But once you learn the basic, you have to invest in mentorship, or you have to connect with people that are doing this stuff and have the knowledge. That's why I connected with Will 1 year ago, and he helped me with his knowledge, and I've connected with some of the other very successful entrepreneurs on Amazon, and this was the key for me. This was the key for me because I could learn firsthand of the information that it's not online. And this is the absolute key. And the other thing that made a huge difference for me in terms of my success was a mastermind group. I organized the mastermind group here in Ljubljana in Slovenia. I have called some guys that I know that were doing Amazon sales or e-commerce in general, and we've been meeting every 14 days in person since a year and a half ago, and this is a huge difference. So the two things you need to do if you want to succeed, I mean, in every space, not just on Amazon or e-commerce, you have to have mentors and you have to have a mastermind group, but of course you have to learn all the time. So yeah, so I mean, I love learning, I love teaching also, and I've been doing some consulting lately. I help some brands here in Slovenia that have contacted me. I help to establish their account on Amazon. I help them with consulting, and on the other hand, I'm consulting. I mean, I mentor, basically. I mentor people from all over the world, from Hungary to US to Slovenia, and I help them learn those strategies that I learned from you, Will, and all the other mentors I had, which are really, I mean, advanced strategies. Advanced strategies you cannot learn over the internet. You have to have a mentor. So I help other people. People can reach me. I'm open to the discussion. Usually we do a quick Skype session, which is for free. So I get to learn if I can help in any way, because in some of the cases you just cannot help, and my help wouldn't be useful. For example, if they want to learn the basic stuff, I cannot help them with this because it would be a waste of their money and my time. But when someone is already selling and doing some numbers, we can take this to the next level, because I mean, in Europe, opportunities are unlimited.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's unbelievable the amount of European sellers who I talk to who have never even thought of this, since the German, even the UK market, but for sure if you go into Spain, France, all of their Amazons are at least like 5 years behind the US Amazon in terms of competition, in terms of seller IQ, in terms of all those different things. And then especially two of those brands who have not been contacted, even if you contacted US brands and said, hey, I can get you into Italy, I can get you into France, the world is your oyster. As we've explained earlier, many companies out there just don't have the time or know-how to go and expand internationally online, and all of us have those tricks and tips, and if you don't, there's people like me and Nejc out here who can teach you. And so yeah, thanks very much, Nejc, for being on here. Is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, I want to say just one thing. The knowledge that we have of Amazon, I think it's priceless, because companies will start to realize this in 1 year or in 2 years in Europe. And in the meantime, I mean, like I said, no one has ever, I mean, a few people has ever said no to me when I said I wanted to help them sell on Amazon. I mean, there's all kinds of options to build a company. You can go to those brands, you can ask if they want to sell their products, and you go into the listings that already exist and they already have sales and reviews. I mean, what's easier than that? So that's it. So thank you, Will, for inviting me. I've enjoyed it very much, and I hope we speak soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Now we'll make sure to link you and make sure you have a way to contact Nejc Volarič on the bottom of this video. So yeah, thanks again, Nejc.
Thank you, Will.